Christian faith that arrived in the Philippines 500 years ago is very much alive today in the joyful witness to evangelical charity by Catholics, even during this pandemic. Faith is a gift from God, and so we are joyful in this special Jubilee year. This year, we celebrate the 500 years of Christianity with the theme Gifted to Give. As children of God, we are truly gifted. We are given the gift of life, the virtues, freedom, and so much more. With these gifts, it is important for us to use them for our good, for others' good, and most importantly, for God, the source of these gifts. With the theme Gifted to Give, we would like to impart you to our journey. We are gifted with freedom. However, it is important that we recognize this in order to straighten our path towards the awareness of one's fidelity to the dignity which was lost to sin. Every day in our lives, we experience situations where we need to choose. And since we are given the gift of freedom, choosing our actions requires great responsibility. With this, our conscience constantly guides us. The relationship between man's freedom and God's law is most deeply lived out in the heart of the person, his moral conscience. Conscience is like God's herald and messenger. It gives us the right sense of proportion so that we can esteem the things of God. We value goodness and virtue at their true worth and see and do the goods of the world and for the world as stepping stones to sanctity. By the aid of our moral conscience, we perceive and choose the course of action that will be the most conducive of God's honor and our own spiritual good. It gives us the spiritual know-how and disposes us to recognize, under the impulse of God's grace, whatever will be helpful or hurtful to us spiritually. With these, by following Christ, we would be able to transform the world into a better place and establish a righteous community.
We grew up being constantly reminded to do what is good in every decision we make. It is certain that choosing the right path should always be our top priority. However, as time goes by, we tend to forget our moral responsibility to always do what is right. There are times where we overlook the fact that the Lord is observing us and we proceed on making decisions that are not well thought of.
Have you ever recalled a situation like that? And how heavy it feels after committing that mistake? It is because neglecting the right verdict will never lead us to anything good, as choosing the right option will always be the best decision since it is something that God wills for us. In every decision-making situation we are in, we should always be reminded of our faith in the Lord, that everything we do is offered to Him.
As we mark this duty in our hearts and mind, it will lead us to the right path, the constant pursuit of holiness. Our faith in the Lord is our unceasing reminder to always do the things that will lead us to Him. We choose to make every upright decision as we know that it is what God wants us to do. The voice leads us to good in every choice we make. Decision making may get harder as we grow up, but I would like to remind you all of the one answer that will surely help you. We should always put our hearts to God and let Him guide our minds to choose the path that will lead us to Him.
As mentioned before, our conscience guides us in what course of action we should take. Now, as Christians, our conscience should also guide us in practicing our faith. Catholics are classified on how they practice their faith. The three types of Catholics are nominal Catholic, cafeteria Catholic, and practicing Catholic. A nominal Catholic is one who claims to be Catholic but doesn't really practice Catholic faith. They are also called lapsed Catholics. They only attend occasional events such as Christmas baptism, funeral, weddings, and etc. However, they don't know the Church's teachings.
A cafeteria Catholic, on the other hand, chooses what Catholic teaching he or she wants to believe and ignores other teachings. Most of them are politicians who believe that Catholicism is true, yet favors anti-Catholic laws. Lastly is the best type, which is practicing Catholic, the one who regularly observes the standard Catholic sacraments such as attending Mass and confession, and believe that the Catholic Church was really founded by Christ, and so all of the church teachings should be practiced. And with the guidance of our conscience, we must remember to be practicing Catholics.
Now, where has our moral conscience brought us?
I am Sofia Mirote, a clinical pharmacist, and I believe in the saying that nothing is impossible with God. All these things that I am today came from Him. I remember back in the day when one of my co-workers stole from the pharmacy in the hospital. She then told me not to tell our boss. However, I felt guilty, which is why I still told the truth. That day changed my life because I got promoted.
Hello everyone, I am Andrei, a clinical pharmacist. God showed me the importance of having a conscience, and it led me to where I am right now. This is such a blessing that I will never forget.
I am Aven, and I work as a cardiologist. With the works of our Creator, He has blessed me with a conscience that made me realize what I need to do in order for me to succeed in life. Back in the day, my classmates used to go out and skip classes despite our busy schedules, which I really didn't do. Gladly, I graduated at the top of my class.
I am Psyche Gascon and I work for the company of St. Luke's Medical Center, and I am very thankful because of all that I have experienced in life. And I believe that wrong does not cease to be wrong because the majority share in it. Many things can go wrong along the way, and it does not mean that even if other people do it, or majority of the people do, it will result in an act to be right.
I am Jurrele Singca, now a licensed pharmacist, and I am now entering med school at the University of Santo Tomas. Looking back to all the hardships that I went through, I can say every sweat is worth it.
Let us always remember that freedom comes with great responsibility.
The more we do good,
The more we become free.
Thus, with our freedom, we should all be guided with our conscience.
And make sure that everything that we do is in God's glory.
With this, we can make the world a better place.